So today's video, what we're going to do is talk about what women want. Now, I'm going to break down some of the qualities and do's and don'ts for men and how to access women, because there is so much advice online and I see so much advice I obviously disagree with. And the reason I disagree with it is because I've met many men who follow this advice to a T and they end up in terrible relationships. And the cost of being with the wrong woman is so much more expensive for men than it is for women, because you could get the wrong person pregnant and you're stuck for the rest of your life. We still have some autonomy and choice over who we have a child with. You just don't anymore. So it's really important that men get this right. So I'm going to go through what it is that women want. There's only one thing that all women want. People will tell you that they want money. They want someone tall. They want someone stronger than them. They want someone richer than them. They want their hypergamous. All of this is no. That's not true. Women define hypergamy by one thing and one thing only: if a man is more intelligent than them. And they do not define intelligence by degrees or by being a CEO. It's whether or not we can trick you. That's it. You can be shorter than us. You can be poorer than us. You can be dumber than us in all other regards. But if we can't trick you, we'll still give you some respect. But if you're richer than us, taller than us, got more degrees and more qualifications, but we can trick you, and we can manipulate you, and we can derive resources or anything from you in any way, shape, or form. We cannot see you as a body to respect. So when we talk about being hypergamous, the reality of hypergamy for a woman is only by one metric. It's our ability to manipulate a man. Yeah, we will only respect men we can't manipulate. It doesn't matter about his bank card. It doesn't matter about his height. We only respect men we can't manipulate. Now, the problem with men is they are far more naive than women. Majority of women, if you tell them that I saw your boyfriend talking to this girl, within 2 minutes she's investigating, and within 5 minutes she's screaming down the phone at him. You tell that to a man, and he'll say, "No, my girlfriend would never do that. My girlfriend's not like this." They make a million excuses. And it's because men have been conditioned into thinking that women don't lie. Women, they're softer. They don't manipulate. They're the ones that lie. It's not true. So when women meet a man who is naive, who makes excuses for her, she automatically loses respect and desire for him. And the reason why she can't desire him is because she feels like she's stronger than him. And we can't feel safe amongst a man that we feel we're stronger than, or we feel we're more powerful than. We can't feel safe with that guy. Whereas that guy that, who we can't manipulate, who is ahead of the curve, who is suspicious, we trust his judgment. Then if we know that he doesn't fall for every lie and he double checks everything, we know we can trust his judgment. We know that when he says, "This restaurant is good," it's going to be good. When he says, "This hotel is great," we know it's going to be great. When he says don't do business with that person, we trust them. But the guy that we can manipulate, we don't trust any word that comes out of his mouth afterwards. So that's why it's really important for you not to be naive with women. Don't do it. Yeah, you will suffer if you do. Now, the other thing that what we find attractive compared to what we don't find attractive is we prefer men that seek respect over approval. Now, what I mean by this is we want a man who is looking to be respected by others, rather than to be liked by others. And that guy, how we know he's somebody who wants respect rather than approval is he's not, yes man, he's not a go with the flow kind of guy. He will stand up for what he thinks. He won't be like any, argumentative. But if he thinks something, if he believes something, he's not easily swayed. He's not easily pressured by his friends. He's not easily pressured by his wife. He stands up, for he has his own set of values that he stands up for. That man we respect. but that guy that just wants to be liked by everybody, who just wants to be popular, who just wants to not rock the boat, who just wants to be nice. We realize that approval means more than self-respect, and therefore we lose interest in that guy. So we prefer respect over approval. Now, another thing that women find attractive versus attractive is we can tell the difference between fake confidence and authentic confidence. Now, men with fake confidence, their confidence comes from external factors. So they make their identity and their personality based on how much money they might have, or how many what they do for a living, just anything external. It could be, how many women they've been with something other than them makes them feel confident. Yeah, so they'll brag a lot, and they let these external things be. They lead with that. They lead with money. They lead with their how many women they've been with. They lead with these external indicators of success, whereas people with authentic confidence do not require external validation. They do not need to tell you how much they earn, how well they do, how many women they've been with. They don't have that false confidence. Now, and how you can tell whether he's got fake or real confidence. A really big indicator is the type of women he chooses. Now, if he's choosing women who disrespect him, who manipulate him, who take money from him, but she looks amazing, we know he's somebody who's built on false confidence. He relies on external things that make him look good in a room, rather than things that make him feel good when he's home alone. And that's a great indicator that he has low confidence. Whereas that man who will say no to women, who will reject women, who disrespect him in private, even if she makes him look good in public, that suggests he has true confidence. And we're always looking for man who has authentic confidence over false confidence. Another factor that we look for in men is some vulnerability. Now, there's a lot of talk online how men should never be vulnerable and they should never show emotions to women. And it makes them weak. And so that's called being emotional. Women don't want emotional men, but they do want vulnerable. And here's the difference. Emotional men have an overreaction to the event that occurred. They cannot regulate their responses to triggers in their environment. So let's say, for example, something was broken or someone annoyed them, and so they have such a disproportionate response to the trigger that it makes them look emotionally dysregulated. And that's super, super unattractive because it shows a woman that you can't stay calm in conditions of chaos. And we need that in order for us to see you as a leader. So we don't want emotional. We don't want someone erratic and unable to sue himself. But we do want vulnerable. And what vulnerable means is exposing parts of your thoughts and feelings that create connection. Exposing parts of your thoughts and feelings that could potentially put a woman off you. But you do it because you want to be honest with her. So vulnerable might be is letting her know that, you have a commitment issue. This is because such and such used to happen in the past, and I experienced this with women, or I experienced this in my childhood. And as a result, I don't actually believe in commitment, and so I struggle with commitment, or it might be explaining certain flaws. It might be things like I'm really bad with money. I really need help with that. I'm terrible at this. I'm trying to fix this habit. You let them know potential flaws that could put her off you. But you're not there to try and win her over. You're there to see if you two are emotionally compatible. Now that guy, the reason why that's so attractive is she is going more down the route of you take it or leave it. This is who I am. You can either join me on this journey or you cannot. But if he has to kind of hide his emotions, doesn't give you too much, seems a bit cold, seems hard to approach, it's only a matter of time before the woman either leaves or cheats, because women need emotional connection, whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not. They need that emotional vulnerability because we like to be with men that make us feel seen. and somebody who's unwilling to express themselves or unwilling to be vulnerable is not showing himself and also not going to elicit that vulnerability back out of you. So you almost feel like you're with somebody cold or hard to read. And as a result, the woman, it's a matter of time before she looks for somebody who makes her feel more seen. So vulnerability is really important. How you practice vulnerability is really getting more and more self-awareness, learning about yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what your values are, knowing what your weaknesses are, knowing what your flaws are, and being totally okay with expressing that to somebody else. Not living like hiding that from people. Expressing that, but not being afraid of their judgment of it. This whole talk online, like never show a woman you're vulnerable. She will judge you. Why are you afraid of a woman judging you? You're a grown man. You're scared of a woman's judgment. You should be like, judge me if you want to judge me. Theater's open if you want to go. But this is what I think and feel. But what the manosphere will teach you is like, it's the most terrifying thing in the world if a woman judges you. Here's the thing. We don't want emotional. We want vulnerable. Vulnerable creates connection. Emotional creates chaos. Another factor that determines whether a man will be seen as attractive or unattractive is how he deals with rejection. Now, what makes a man super attractive is his ability to embrace rejection. Now, what we mean by this is, of course, nobody likes to be rejected. It's a horrible feeling. It's really embarrassing in the moment. It's very deflating, and it's really easy to say, as a woman, oh, just accept rejection, because we don't really get rejected as much as men. But here's how to handle rejection. When a woman doesn't want you, firstly, you don't take it personal. You don't take it personal. Secondly, you accept her opinion. What the weak man will do is when a woman rejects him, he'll fight harder. He wants her more. We don't really want a guy that persistent. What we mean by persistence is we're giving you interest. We're showing you interest, and we want you to return that interest. That's what we mean by playing hard to get, or wanting somebody to show you attention. But when we're outright rejecting you, and you are still showing us interest, we start to see you as somebody who doesn't have alternatives. And by alternatives, we don't mean you need to have other women lined up, but you should have a life that you enjoy with or without us. Now, if you're not accepting our rejection, it makes us feel like you're not living a fulfilling life. And we are not attracted to men that are not living a fulfilling life, so hanging on makes it really unattractive for a woman. Another thing that men do when they're faced with rejection is that they get abusive. They start being like, well, you start insulting you. And they can be like, start putting you down. And then start becoming really negative about you. That also shows that you're a sore loser. It shows that you're not emotionally mature. If you liked her enough to pursue in the first place, but then only find all these flaws the moment she rejects you, it shows low self-esteem, and we don't like that either. The gracious way to handle rejection is saying, okay, no worries, I wish you all the best. You're a great girl, and whoever ends up with you is the lucky man. And you keep it moving. You keep it moving. You leave with a compliment, and you keep it moving. The compliment will leave her thinking, you're a great guy, and keeping the door open to some extent. Then moving on will show her that you've got alternatives, and then she will respect you more. But the insults, or the clinging on, don't do it. It just cements your failure for this woman. Another factor that determines whether or not women will find you attractive or unattractive is the choices you make in life. Now, one thing that women monitor without you realizing is what you choose to do. Now, if you choose to watch a lot of pornography, choose to play a lot of video games, choose to pay for sex, choose to go and sleep around a lot, we're looking at your choices, and we are deciding whether or not you are valuable or you are chaotic. Whereas if you naturally make good choices, we don't have to kind of scold you. We don't have to mold you. We don't have to tell you too much. You naturally make the right choices. You will become more attractive to a woman. So what you want to do is live a life where if a woman was to enter it tomorrow, she wouldn't need to tell you too much. She wouldn't need you to adapt too much in order for you to be a good husband or to be a good father. You naturally live a life that is effective. What a lot of men will do is live an incredibly chaotic life. They'll be sleeping around, going to parties every weekend, taking drugs, and say, well, when I settle down, I'm going to stop all this. But what kind of woman is going to select you? It's going to be a woman with low standards, and a woman who's also a bit chaotic. But when you start making those life choices, because you respect yourself, and it's got nothing to do with a woman, you're doing it because you respect who you are, then you're more likely to attract a good woman. And you're more likely to appeal to more women. Yeah, more women will find you attractive. So make choices that you are proud of, with or without women. Now, the final thing that determines whether or not a man is attractive or unattractive is his communication style. Now, one thing about women is they don't really care so much about who you are. They care more about how you make them feel. So, what I mean by this is you can plan an amazing date where it's a gorgeous restaurant. You pick her up. It's you. You're wearing a really nice outfit. All of these things. But she catches you staring at another woman. Or you're on your phone the whole time. If you make her feel ignored or rejected, immediately she loses all interest. Whereas another guy who might do a very low-key date, but he shows interest in her and makes her feel important, valuable, seen, she will attach to him. And how you make a woman feel seen is your communication has to be consistent and inquisitive. And what I mean by that is, you check in regularly. You do regular check-ins. If she doesn't respond, take her lack of responsiveness as she's not interested, and take it as a rejection and handle the rejection the way I said. But if she does respond, you ask questions about her. You ask some questions. Now, she should also be asking questions about you. It should be two-way street. But you should be asking questions to get to know her. And the reason why that is important is the characteristics of charisma is how you make others feel. And when you ask people questions, they feel significant. So when you're with a woman, and if you're trying to create connection, always ask deeper questions. Ask her about what she wants in life, what she doesn't like, what she expects, what she doesn't like, respect, what her values are. Ask her slightly deeper questions. Now, with the wrong woman, she will find these questions very difficult to answer. She won't want deep connection, and she will kind of find that difficult. But with the right woman, she will open up, and you two will create some chemistry that you can't be broken. So, I would say the final thing that makes men really attractive is a communication style. When you meet a man who doesn't call, doesn't text, between dates, he has nothing to talk about, women lose interest. They just do. They find it like pathetic boring. Like they don't enjoy that. So, having consistent communication that is filled with emotional intimacy will make you far more attractive. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in next week where I'll be talking about more topics, everything to do with relationships. If you have any further questions or one-tone tune, you can send me a message and I will be able to tell you my schedule. Thank you so much for listening. The Nomad Capitalist event is occurring this September 17th to the 20th in Kuala Lumpur. This is the world's #1 event where all the leading entrepreneurs, investors, and thought leaders get together to teach you actionable steps on how you can protect your wealth, how to navigate uneconomic uncertainty, and most importantly, securing second citizenship. I have the honor of speaking on stage alongside Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, where you will be taught everything you need to know about international relationships. You do not want to miss this. Tickets go on sale on the 15th of April.